might move into our segment of therapy now. So a bit of a change of roles. I'm going to be here as a client and you're moving into the role of my therapist. And although this is a fairly strange environment in which to do some therapy, this is actually a real therapy session. We're not role playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite different to a normal therapy session. We don't already have that therapeutic relationship. And this also doesn't demonstrate what a long-term therapeutic relationship with you might look like. So this is just a little snapshot. This is not the whole of how Tim works in therapy. It's just a little example of how a piece of a therapy session might be with you. Okay, so I'm going to take my podcasting hat off and become your client. And I've just noticed in me in this conversation so far a bit of like blankness, which I don't normally experience. Maybe even like freezing up or losing my train of thought.
Yeah.
And I feel like tension in my throat and my chest as I start talking about this.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me know about that. And I'm wondering, how would it be if we were to sort of go towards those sensations together? Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yes, I notice you're closing down your eyes, and that's totally okay. Just bringing awareness to the body as a whole maybe first, if that would be okay. Just taking it all in from head to toe. Just noticing maybe the feet on the floor. Noticing that. Or your bum on the chair, your back against the seat. Noticing how held you are in this space. How supported you are in your body. Maybe noticing your feet, your back, wherever in your body, that as you bring awareness to that area, just quite naturally, that feeling of being supported just grows a little bit. I'm trying to make anything happen here, but actually can happen all by itself. Just noticing if that does happen for you, and if not, that's okay too. And so you mentioned a moment ago, feeling maybe some sensations in your chest, up your throat and around that area. I'm wondering, do you feel comfortable with bringing your awareness closer towards those sensations now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And as you do that, just let me know in your own time what you notice, what it feels like.
So I'm kind of imagining kind of dropping my mind down to these places, and the image that comes into my mind is like my chest is like, the image is like a beehive, but like one of those, like a beehive hanging from a tree, like from a cartoon or something. And there's just like a bit of a frenzy in there, it's a lot of activity.
A bit frenetic in your chest.
Yeah.
Frenzied beehive.
Yeah. It's not unpleasant necessarily, but yeah, it's just really busy. And then my throat is kind of a dull ache, like a constriction.
It's a little bit constricted, okay. So yeah, knowing that there's nothing you need to change about this. It's totally okay to be feeling these feelings here in this space. And if you do get the sense at any time that it does feel a bit much, just remembering you can bring your awareness back into your body as a whole and find those places that really feel supported. So your body as a whole is holding many different feelings. Some of those feelings are in your throat and your chest. But you also have feelings in your back, on the feet on the floor. This body as a whole is a container holding all of that. If that feels all right to hold all of that, Maybe continuing to bring your awareness to your throat or your chest. Maybe just focusing on one of them, giving one of them a bit more attention. Again, we're really not trying to change anything here. Just trying to notice really what it is. So if you've got a sense of one of those areas you might like to go a bit closer towards.
Yeah, I think my chest.
Hmm.
When I expanded my awareness back out to like the whole of my body and the support, it felt like it settled a bit and wasn't as prominent. And then as I came back towards it, I guess my attention being on it feels buzzier again. Yeah.
Buzzier, yeah. Those bees buzzing about. Yeah. So maybe noticing that your body, again, has this capacity to hold both, and that you have this ability to move towards and away from the sensation. Make it bigger or smaller, depending on where you'd like to rest your awareness.
Feels just kind of like reassuring or something that,
Yeah.
okay, I can move towards it and away from it.
Yeah, noticing you have that capacity within you, and that you have that choice. I'm here with you. We're going through this experience together, but you really can decide what feels right for you in this moment. But if it does feel right, I invite you to continue to bring your awareness into that buzzy feeling in your chest. Really get a hold on what makes it feel the way it does. If there's any words, maybe again this image of the bees, you can speak to what that feels like.
So I kind of just got an image in my mind of being inside the beehive and just like one eye, one big eye. It's a little bit random, sorry. And this kind of feeling of like, I don't know. Like it's a bit worried, a bit panicked.
Yeah. So just noticing again, is there any part of you that wants to pull away, or is it okay to be here with this?
It feels okay.
It feels okay.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too. This eye has appeared. Yeah. Don't quite know what it means or why it's there, but it sounds really interesting. What do you notice about this eye?
Yeah, it's kind of just watching all of the comings and goings of the beehive and feeling a bit lost, a bit out of its depth.
Yeah, this eye is a bit lost.
I kind of like now being like quite close to it. Feel like I've got an idea of what it represents in my current daily life, but I feel like it's a familiar feeling.
Yeah.
As well. Like I feel like in my current daily life, I've got a really great team of people and they're doing a whole lot of stuff and I'm watching the emails going back and forth thinking I've got no idea what they're doing, or like I'm glad they know what they're doing, but I'm just kind of watching going, good job everyone, thanks. And feeling a bit overwhelmed, or a bit like, oh God, I don't know, I'm not across everything that's happening here.
It's a little bit of a panicky feeling maybe. Yeah. It's a little bit difficult maybe to feel, to be that eye watching out and kind of seeing everything going on.
Yeah, maybe feeling like a bit of a fraud.
Okay.
Like I'm like these people are all working to help me and I'm not across everything that they're doing, which in some ways is the whole point of having a team of people with skills, but I don't know, there's something a bit scary about it.
It's a little bit scary, yeah. This eye is a little bit anxious. How is it to hold that? It's a little bit difficult maybe. Is it okay?
Yeah, I just feel like I get it.
Yeah, you really kind of understand what it's like.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. bring that compassionate awareness to the eye, seeing it, it's anxiety, feeling like a little bit of a fraud. It's really beautiful.
And then I get an image of a young me
Mm.
in a busy house. Kind of similar vibe. Like everyone's doing their thing and it's all good, you know. I'm a bit lost in it.
Right, there's a lot of activity going on around you. If you can get a sense maybe of what you would need sitting in all of that activity.
Yeah, just someone to slow down
Yeah.
and be with me.
Perhaps you notice on the edge of your awareness there is someone nearby, someone who's really suited for you in this situation. Maybe they can come a little bit closer, get a sense that they know exactly where to be to make you feel comfortable with their presence. Maybe they come a bit closer to you in a way that feels just right for what you're feeling right now. You're able to notice what it's like if that person can come towards you.
Feels like a bit of stillness and a bit of slowness.
Yeah, noticing that stillness and slowness that you start to feel in your body as this person attunes to you and responds to you in the way that you most need right now.
I feel like a curiosity about them, but also like a little bit of guardedness. Like,
Yeah. A little bit
what are
guarded.
you? Who are you?
Yeah. This person notices you're feeling that guardedness and they respond to that in the way that feels just right, a way that really reassures you, really in touch with what's going on for you. They want to respond to the way that in the way it feels really right for you.
It feels so like it's like they just took a step back and knelt down, and it was just so nice.
Yeah. Really notice just how nice it is to have someone who's so present with what's going on for you. This person is really available for you in whatever way you need.
Yeah, it feels really lovely.
Just letting that lovely feeling, just noticing maybe somewhere in your body where that's showed up, taking in that lovely feeling, letting it settle into place a little bit more.
From my shoulders and into my chest. It's like a serene kind of feeling.
Yeah, taking that in, that serene feeling in your shoulders. And again, as you notice that, maybe it deepens a little bit. You can breathe it in just a little bit more. Maybe not, maybe it just stays the way it is, and that's fine too. And this person who's come over is here to respond to you in whatever way you need. They just remain really steadily present throughout all of this. Really attuned and aware of what's going on for you and responding to that in a way that feels just right for how you're feeling in this moment. You're able to notice how they're being with you right now?
It's just like they're just there, close by, not even really interact. They're just available.
Yeah.
Like they're so available.
They're so available, yeah.
And I can just feel them. It just feels so lovely. It's kind of hard to describe. So lovely that they're just there and so available.
Yeah. You need to have words to describe how you feel if they're not there. And this, you don't need to know exactly what it is that you need in this moment. This person is just really available, really consistent.
When you just said really available, I just noticed how relaxed I've become.
Yeah.
That when they're really available, I'm just like all the tension is dissipating out of my body.
And noticing how their availability has such an impact on you. Just really allowing that feeling to grow stronger and deeper in your body. Just continuing to rest your awareness there, and you're going to notice that you start to feel like you've been able to stay here in this place for a really long time, allowing this feeling to just be so consistent, so steady. And even though it might feel like it's only been a short amount of time, inside of you, you're going to feel like you've been able to be with this feeling for a really long time. And in a few moments, I'm going to gently count down from 5. When I count down, I'm going to ask you to come back to the room slowly in your own time. But you're able to keep this experience, this feeling with you as you come back to the room. This person who's here with you, they really want you to hold on to that feeling, to take it with you. So just continue to hold that feeling as I count from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And opening your eyes in your own time, no rush. But as you open your eyes, you adjust to the space. See if that feeling's staying in your body. Just holding that while opening up your awareness to the room and to me. And if you'd like to say anything about that experience, I welcome you to do so, but there's also no pressure. If that's something you just want to keep for yourself.
Like a really calming feeling, calming experience on a really deep level. Because I think sometimes we know how to calm ourselves down a bit or move away from something so we can do what we need to do. But that felt like a real shift in my internal state.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me because I was about to pause the recording and do something. I was noticing this blankness. I was going to do something to kind of tend to it a bit, or calm it down a bit. But I think, and I could have done that because I've done lots of therapy and I'm a therapist. I do a bit of therapy on myself. That's great. But there is something about you facilitating it that meant I could just really be in it instead of being the person who's trying to fix the thing that's happening inside me. I could just be with what was happening and kind of rely on you to guide me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing this really authentic part of yourself. And it sounds like, there was a lot of mystery and a lot that was unknown about doing so. So thank you for being willing to go there.
Yeah, no worries. And it also strikes me that this feeling in my chest was completely out of my awareness. I didn't come into this feeling a beehive in my chest. But the symptom was that I was a bit blank. And so I feel like it's kind of an example of how there can be something really going on in our body that we can manage to override and ignore to a certain extent, but then there will be a symptom which doesn't necessarily make sense to us. Or, I was thinking, why the hell am I feeling blank today? What is going on? It's not my usual experience in this setting. And so just this random symptom was a doorway into what's actually happening in my body that was out of my awareness.
Have we kind of switched out of therapist-client mode back into interview mode? Because if
Yes.
so, that's cool. I'm just going to respond to that in different ways.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I can say we've kind of switched from the therapy session into chatting again. I'll say that. So then
That's
it
fine.
doesn't
Yeah.
get too...
And we can include that or not. I'll see how my answer fits. But
cool. So we're moving from the therapy session back into a conversation, kind of bring myself back to non-client podcast me. Is there anything you wanted to say or ask about that session?
Yeah. So I guess what you were just saying there about having this blankness and not really being aware that, or not knowing what's underneath that, and then finding out there's a beehive, and then you kind of ended up going to the I, and then this young version of yourself, this child. That shows the kind of different levels or registers of mind that we're working with in a practice like that. And you go from sort of the somatic to the sensate or the symbolic. So the sensate is, there's some buzzing. And then we go into the bees. So that's a symbol. We're working with a symbol. And then, there was a bit of emotion there, I noticed. So you might call that, affect, to use a therapeutic term. And there was a little bit of talking about, the thoughts that were going alongside that, particularly when we were talking about like your responsibilities in your work. And that would be, cognition. So we're working with like a lot of different parts of your mind, but there's a real organic kind of process to that, I found. And it was really beautiful to just follow that and kind of trust what came up at each moment. But yeah, that's a beautiful example, I think, of the work that I do with a lot of my clients. And I actually wove in some of the attachment work that I do. It came up so organically when you said this young version of yourself and you're quite scared. And that's a place I work with my clients a lot. One part of the work that I do is around imaginative exercises around childhood or being a young child. And so when that happened for you, I was like, this is a beautiful chance to just kind of go with, something I do a lot with my clients. And it was, beautiful to see you respond. This person came over at first they were a bit reassuring, but they're a complete stranger. So you had this sort of like inhibition, not total certainty about it. But then again, in the work that I do, those people, which is ideal parents in the attachment work we do, these imagined ideal parents, they are always responding in the way that feels just right for the client as this young version of themselves. So again, that's what I had this person do with you. And just to see the impact that had on you, that they withdrew a little bit, but just to the right amount. They weren't going away, but they were giving you the space you needed. And just to see you respond to that, it's such a beautiful process to witness. I really, really enjoyed that.
It's quite amazing. And I actually have done a version of that process on a previous episode with Al. And I've done a lot of reparenting work. I do it a lot in therapy, but it's me reparenting myself generally, which I love and is really beautiful. But I was so struck in both the session I did with Al and today with you at how this imagined figure, and you didn't even kind of use the word ideal parent or anything like that, there was just a figure, could bring such a reassurance and an ease. And it's literally from my imagination based on a suggestion that you've made, and yet energetically it had a really big impact. And particularly when I did have a bit of sort of hesitation and you said they just respond in exactly the right way. My mind knew, I saw it immediately in my mind, exactly the way that would be right for them to respond, which was to take a step back and kneel down, and that just like melted me. It was so wonderful. And it blows my mind that this is just something that you have suggested that I imagine, and that it totally changes my experience, and a lasting change in my experience, in that I can still feel that ease now that I kind of felt and received in that. And what you said about the work just unfolding and being able to kind of just allow it to and follow it is really beautiful, and just trusting what comes. And I think that is the difference between working from, as a therapist, working from your head in terms of all of the theory and what we think should be happening, or thinking that we should know what we're going to do next. And don't get me wrong, all of the theory and all of the training and all of that sets us up really well. But to be able to, instead of doing therapy just from our head, to do it from a more embodied place, it does allow that trust and that natural unfolding. And as another guest said another time, Reese, our system and our body knows how to heal, knows what is needed. And that felt so evident in when you suggested that they respond in exactly the right way. My mind, heart, whatever it was, knew exactly how I needed that figure to respond. And it did. And just even trusting as a client that the random thing that pops into your head is relevant. It's part of the unfolding. the eye in a beehive, it can be easy to dismiss those kind of images or feelings or symbols.
Yeah.
But they are part of the unfolding and they don't need to make sense, right? Like I didn't need to know why there was an eye there. It was just part of what came up.
Yeah, and this is where, the relationship between the client and the therapist is so important, because I noticed that you felt a bit self-conscious about there being an eye. It's sort of like, it's a bit silly. And I'm like, absolutely trusting that this has come up for a reason, and that if we can go towards it, it will have its own message, its own reason for being. So, I try to just gently encourage you to allow that to be here. It's popped up for a reason. Let's go towards it. But again, you're kind of generating, this is coming from inside of you. And as you were saying with this imagined person, you kind of knew what this person needed to do to make you feel comfortable. So I'm here to encourage you to find out what that is. And yeah, there's this really beautiful kind of meeting place between, this is something that if you do it by yourself, there's a certain amount of impact it can have. I've done a bit of this work just when I was training in it, just by myself, just practicing different techniques and so on, and had some beautiful experiences of feeling just like an incredible feeling of self-worth that was generated just through doing a meditation from a pre-recording. But I think when you do it live with another person who really understands your mind, you've spent a bit of time together, then there's that ability for them, the therapist, to pick up on those subtle nuances and just, maybe, gently guide you towards that thing. And sometimes to do the opposite, right? Like the mind contains just so much. And sometimes we need someone who recognizes, oh, that's a bit much. Do you want to just come back? As I was sort of earlier on, when we were focusing more on the somatic, what was happening feeling-wise in your body, and, coming to these difficult feelings in your chest and your throat, and I kind of bring you back to the grounding to sort of provide, in somatic experiencing, you talk about pendulation, going from, the more difficult sensations to something that feels more grounding and supportive. So it was a version of that. I really like this idea, though, of kind of thinking of the body and the mind as a whole, so that when we have these experiences that are a bit difficult, we understand that occurs in something much greater than just, that we're not solely defined by that experience. And usually that encourages people, I think, to go a bit closer towards that. They're not so overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, I really like that. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Session. It was super helpful